if the creek don't rise. My name is Angie, and I am so happy that you are here today. If you are back for another Fall Food Friday, and that is so exciting. We're having fun. Last week was the first week. It's hosted by Fallon on Moss Family TV, and so if you haven't had a chance to check those out, go ahead. And then if you are here for this week, just jump on into all these great fall food inspiration videos. I know you're probably going to enjoy it. Today I am making for you a dessert called pumpkin lush. There are lots of lush variety of recipes out there. There's lots of names that this same type of concept recipe goes by, but I'm making a pumpkin lush today, and I think it's going to be really delicious. That being said, I'm going to jump straight in here showing you the ingredients that we are going to need. For our crust, we're going to need a few things: the butter, flour, sugar, and chopped pecans. That's going to be our first layer. Our second layer is going to be the cream cheese layer. I ended up using 2 boxes. We're going to use some powdered sugar and some vanilla, and that's going to make up our second layer. Our third layer is going to be the pumpkin, the vanilla pudding. I ended up using 2 boxes, and our pumpkin pie spice. That makes up our third layer. And for the very top, we're going to go in with just some whipped topping. Now the milk there, that goes in with the vanilla, of course, to make the pudding. So we are going to jump right on in here, you guys, and get started on this recipe. One way you can soften your butter, of course, is to just throw it in your baking dish and put it in the oven that's preheated, and that will soften your butter. So I've got that going on right now. My cream cheese has been softening on the counter here all morning. So I'm going to put that into the bowl here. And next I'm going to go in with my cup of powdered sugar. And I'm going to add in my vanilla. Drizzle a little bit of that in. And I'm going to use my hand mixer so I can get this really smooth and all of the lumps out. And I will show you this here in just a second. All right, I've just pulled my pan out of the oven. My butter is almost completely melted. Okay, and now I'm gonna go in with my cup of flour. I'm gonna do about half of it first. And all of the pecans, which is a half cup. Like I said, I bumped it up because we love pecans. All right. Let's go in with the other half cup. And I don't know about you guys, but I usually compare quite a bit of recipes, especially if it's something that's not one of my tried and trues, and maybe I'm looking for something new or trying something for the first time. I will usually compare a lot of recipes just to kind of get a feel for it, to see if they're consistent, if it looks right compared to some others, that kind of thing. And then, of course, I usually tinker with it if there's something we might like better, something I don't have that I could substitute. I usually always do a fair amount of looking at recipes. And so when I do that, sometimes, you know, I'm combining this or that, and I'm thinking, here, wait a minute, is this a... So sometimes I'm thinking, is this an 8x8 recipe? Is this a 9x13? And, you know, sometimes that can happen too when you're looking at too many. You got to make sure you settle on the right thing and put the right amount of the ingredients. So this is looking good. And then this is going to bake in the oven for about 10 minutes until it just forms a crust. Everything will bake together. Okay, you guys, I forgot to add in the sugar. It would have probably been fine without it. Honestly, there's so much sweet stuff going on in this anyway. But I remembered it in enough time to add it in. Do any of you ever do nonsense things like this in the kitchen? Or am I the only one? Surely not, right? All right, that was an easy fix. Sugar in, smush down. None of this is perfection, as long as it tastes good, huh? Okay, try this again, back in the oven. Okay, you guys, I am just gonna apologize that I feel like I'm making changes since I filmed the ingredients, but I got to thinking, I want these layers to be thick. I don't want a skimpy dessert. So I am going to do 2 puddings with 3 cups of milk instead of 4. If you followed the box directions, it would be 2 cups of milk per box, but I am going to do 3 cups, and this is thicker, but I definitely want a thick layer of pudding rather than a little skimpy one. So let's just do 3. Yes, this is not technically a liquid measuring cup, but it's gonna be fine. There we go.
Hi guys, I'm just helping out my Gigi.
Tell them what you're doing.
I'm stirring this up. Yeah.
Tell them, say it's pudding.
It's pudding.
Vanilla pudding.
Vanilla pudding, wait, that's my favorite. I love vanilla pudding.
Good job.
I haven't tasted. Guys, link down below. And, well, tell me what kind of pudding is your favorite. It could be chocolate, it could be vanilla, it could be regular. Or it could even be probably banana. Guys, if you never taste banana, if you taste banana, leave a like down below this video. What? What YouTubers have been saying that?
You are doing a great job. You are a YouTuber, I think.
Yeah, I want. What?
You might as well just be one. You're so good. It's really starting to come together. It's taking some muscle, but you're getting it.
That orange stuff, that's the pumpkin. Now, do I keep stirring while you're pinning the pumpkin?
Absolutely.
Okay. Oh, it's kind of like a pretty color. We used half a can.
Half a can of pumpkin.
Yeah, we use half a can of pumpkin.
All right, next we are going in with our pumpkin pie spice. I tasted of this half a can of pumpkin and the pudding mixture, and it doesn't taste super pumpkin-y, but it does taste pumpkin-y. So I know this pumpkin pie spice will really give it the edge. Now, I know you see these lumps in this pudding, but that's okay. When we have little helpers in the kitchen, we just let them do their thing. All right.
We do.
Now,
we're gonna give it a taste and see if it tastes like pumpkin.
right. Okay, I think I need some more pumpkin pie spice.
You need to make these, guys.
All right, we're just adding in, tasting, and adjusting as we go. I wanted to come back on real quick and tell you guys where the inspiration for this recipe came from. My mom is known for a few desserts, and one of them is called a heavenly delicious dessert. It starts with a crust just like this. It's got a vanilla pudding layer, it's got the cream cheese layer, it's got the whip, and it's got some toasted coconut on the top. And I just got to thinking, how would that be with some pumpkin? And I've never heard of it or had it, and I got to looking, and sure enough, there's some recipes for something real similar. So I just kind of came up with my own as I went along to kind of mimic that wonderful dessert that my mom makes.
Okay guys, we went back in with the rest of the pumpkin. I think we can do it. I think it's gonna taste great. I don't think this layer is gonna be too thick. I'm gonna move now to my hand mixer just to get the rest of these little lumps out. And then we will be moving on. All right, this has cooled down, and I'm gonna go in with my cream cheese layer, and I actually bumped it up to 2 cream cheese blocks because I could just tell And you can tell by looking right here. One would be not even enough to have on here, right? All right, so gently spread this without, you know, pulling up the bottom crust as best as you can. It's not at the end of the world if it comes up a little bit.
Hey, darling, can I tell you what's been on my mind? Sick and tired of the 9 to 5 in the city life. Hey, darling, we could get out of town.
And next I'm going to come in with my pumpkin pudding layer. I'm not pouring the whole thing on. I'm just going to scoop it on here and judge by how thick the layer is. And then I'll kind of base it on that. It probably will take the whole thing, but I just don't know for sure. All right.
It's so pretty with the wind blowing in your hair. We can
Start there. It still is quite lumpy, but had I been paying close attention and doing it just myself, we wouldn't have had any lumps in this pudding. But that's okay. Time in the kitchen with a little kitchen helper is worth all the lumpy pudding in the world. Okay, now I'm going to look at the side of it. I'll show you the side. You can kind of see the layers there. I probably have 1 cup of pudding left in here, so I think it definitely is just fine to add it on. So that puts me, ended up using the entire 2 boxes and 3 cups of milk. And all the shakes of pumpkin pie spice. I'd say in all, I might have done a tablespoon, maybe. Just shake it in and taste it. Everybody has a different thought on pumpkin pie spice, things like that, whether you like it heavier or not. Okay, check it out, you guys. So there's our next layer. Pretty. And now we're gonna go in with our whipped topping as our very top layer with a sprinkling, I think, of the pumpkin pie spice on the top. You could also do the pecans, but I think I'm gonna sprinkle some of the pumpkin pie spice.
Yeah, the countryside is so pretty with the wind blowing in your hair. We can look back someday, baby, don't you understand that we only get one life? I wanna make it count, honey, come on now and take my hand. Yeah, we only get one life, I wanna make it count, honey, come on now and take my hand.
And there we have it. So that's an 8-ounce Cool Whip on top. And I'm gonna go in with my pumpkin pie spice. And these are like really huge holes on this thing. A little bit too big, actually. I'm just gonna do this and dust it on the top as a little pretty final touch. I think that's plenty. I don't want to go too much. Plenty. Check it out. All right, when we slice this up, if this goes in the fridge, of course, to get nice and cold, and when I cut out a piece of this in a few hours, I'll be sure and show you what it looks like and tell you our final thoughts about this pumpkin lush. Look at these gorgeous layers, you guys. Oh my goodness. I think it turned out to be the absolute perfect amount for each layer. They are almost identical in size. That's what we were going for. And as much as it seemed like I was being indecisive on where I was going with it on the amounts, if you follow your gut in the kitchen, especially if you've been cooking for a long time, trust yourself. sometimes over the recipe, trust yourself. And that's what we did here by adding the extra pudding and the extra cream cheese. Check it out. As you can see, I've pulled 2 pieces out already. James and I wanted to try it so we could give you guys a review. It is absolutely delicious. We loved it. It's not extremely sweet. It's very refreshing. And if you live in a place where fall time still has some pretty warm temperatures, a pumpkin dessert like this would be absolutely great to serve. All right, I'm gonna take another piece out and show you guys here what it looks like all plated up so we can have the final look.
So much for watching, you guys. As always, be sure and look in the description box below. The recipe as I made it will be down there all typed out for you. As always, I so appreciate you taking time to watch my videos. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, hit that red subscribe button. It's for free. Be sure and come back next Friday and in between this week for whatever videos I may have up. Thank you again, you guys. Have a wonderful fall weekend.